by Don't Touch It. Just over 38,000 and change to the winner. Number one is Spurdeck. Cheek pieces. Note the late change of jockey, not Tom Cannon. Is not amount of David Noonan. 2 Hurricane Ben, tongue strap, Noel Feely. 3 Bon Papa, tongue strap, Barry Garrity. And that is your favourite, around 4-1 Bon Papa. 4 American Tom, tongue strap, Paul Town. And 5 is Townsend. Tongue strap, David Mullins. 6 Tycoon Prince, also has the tongue strap, Davy Russell. 7 3 Stars, cheek pieces, Sean Flanagan. 8 Mr. 51, cheek pieces, Robbie Power. 9 Shadow Catchers wear the blinker, the tongue strap, and will have the guidance of Brian Hayes. Robbie Colgan is aboard number 10 Powers Bomb. 11 Cadmium is Danny Mullins. 12 Robin De Mana, tongue strap is Mark Walsh. Number 13 for the Pigs Back Handicap Chase is Balbert du Matin, tongue strap Dennis O'Regan. 14 R. Dougal. Dylan Robinson takes the valuable 5 off. 15 Courjoyeux is tongue strap Luke Dempsey. Lake Takapuna will wear saddle cloth. 16 for Andrew Lynch. 17 De Beno, tongue strap Cathal Landers takes 7 off. Suns Set to Rise, tongue strap cheek pieces, Jack Kennedy will be on number 18. 19 8 Till Late, Andrew Ring takes the 3 off. 20 Lean and Keen is Kevin Sexton. 21 Timian, tongue strap Mark Enright. 22 'Tis a Mystery, cheek pieces Liam Quinlan takes a valuable 7 off. 23 is Just Get Cracking for Philip Enright, and 24 Tonji is the amount of Rachel Blackmore. We've called 24 Tom Lee. 4-1 looks a short enough price, but there seems to be confidence about this Bon Papa.
I absolutely adore Bon Papa, from the same family as Sprinter Sacra, no less. He's by Network, big, sleek, black, elegant, gorgeous animal. Look at him in the paddock if we can get a shot of him, because he's an absolute cruising machine who absolutely glides through his races. However, note the high head carriage, note the tendency to come there flirting with success and then get beaten. He's not bomb-proof by any stretch of the imagination. He has been back today. I wonder if this is the big pot that he's been threatening to win. In opposition, horses backed, stablemate Townsend 20-1 into 14-1, and also Powers Bomb returning 20-1 into 11-1. Hasn't been on the track a long time, fancied by somebody today, the returning Powers Bomb, number 10.
Bon Papa, Ruby.
Yeah, won a beginner's chase here. Disappointed over 3 miles in Leopardstown at Christmas. He's a fair horse. He had a really good run at Ferryhouse in a handicap the last day. His first run in a handicap. He should have improved experience-wise for that. He'll handle the yield on the soft ground. The rain will even suit him. But he'll want every yard of 2 miles, in my opinion.
Spurdeck is the next we're going to look at. He's got top weight to carry. He fully deserves it, I have to say. He chased Timon Dassault in Grade 1 company at Ascot in the Clarence House, and he'd won at Sandown before that. He's back in handicap company again. He's 8-1.
He goes some gallop as well.
Is one of Gordon, Manny, one of Gordon Elliott's Son Satori's. This fella ran Nina rode him in an amateur lady riders race at Ferryhouse. He was formerly in Francis Flood's. He won a chase well at Nav and looked like he was well handicapped. But now that he stepped up to this sort of company, I think he'll find a bit to do.
What did you call him? Sunsets to Rise. Sunsets to Rise.
Sunset to Rise. I know what I call him.
Sunsetorius. There's Townsend. I thought this horse had a great chance, even though he pulled up on his last start, but the rain that fell last night even, and is falling today, most certainly won't suit him.
Sunsets to Rise. Here's number 4, Ted. This one's called American Tom.
Is that what it is again?
You can read this one, can we? American Tom. Yes, this fella has disappointed.
Go on, Ruby.
He's disappointed on more occasions than he's fulfilled his promise. We thought he was a really decent horse as a novice hurdler, but he has tapered off and he has come back to his very best, but I don't know if he will.
What about Cadmium?
Yeah, Cadmium will give us an idea of what kind of a race at Thurles it was that Castle Grace Paddy won, because he was a long ways behind him that occasion. Before that, he'd beat Feynard and Fit to Be tied at Ferryhouse.
The field in the 2 mile chase in Ireland, and then you have a horse like Spurdeck thrown in who will go a ferocious gallop. It'll definitely come as a shock to a lot of these horses' systems.
A number of them you can give chances to. Tycoon Prince, he picks his moments, but he's a decent sort on his day. Sally Ann is down at the start.
Yes, down at the start, Robert, as you said. And the rain has just started to ease off at the moment, just before this race. But you can see there's 24 runners, as Ruby was saying. It's going to get fairly hectic in here when they get onto the chase course. So the horses have looked at this chase fence just in front of us, and they're just gathering in a nice group now. Paddy Graffin has explained to us he wanted to keep them out of the way so they could get their girths done further down and come in nice and collected as one group straight through here in front of the fence in front of us and up to the start. There's about a minute left now, just over a minute before the start. But you can see they're just trying to get in a group to be as organised as possible before they approach the tape.
Not too much longer before the start. Bon Papa 4-1, Spur Deck 8-1, Sunset to Rise 8-1, and it's 11-1 bar, Tom.
Yeah, on the exchanges, -7 3 stars. You'd be happy if you were back at this morning of number 3 Bon Papa, who's tight at the price 4-1, and also Powers Bomb returning to the track, and an honourable mention for the top one, Speradek, who, bear in mind, not that long ago, second to the mighty Undersow in the Clarence House at Ascot in a handicap here. That makes him fascinating, justifying potentially the trip across the channel.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Great sight there now to see them all lined up there ready to go. A lot of them want to be prominent, Ruby.
But the lads do well keep them all on the wraps and give each other a chance. If every rider plays ball, you can conduct a fair start, but these have charged that Paddy, and I can't imagine he's going to let them go. No, he's not. It's a false start, and that's the problem. If one guy breaks, this is what happens. You end up with a false start, and that's where everybody has to play ball with each other. To conduct a fair start the first time, where everybody's walking in and basically in the position they want to be in, is the best result for the jockeys. And when one guy goes forward, and we'll have a look, see who breaks. I thought it was Powersbaum watching it initially, who gets a bit tight and then jumps forward. It is. Powersbaum is the one who breaks it, and he gets them all going with him. And that's, he got a bit tight, and whoever was riding him on number 10, I moved my race card. Robbie Colgan has allowed him to go forward, and then when he goes forward, they all rush. And here's this, now you've 2 false starts. When it doesn't happen first time, it becomes painful to watch.
Yeah, but I tell you, start them back a good bit and having to come through the chute is not a help either. Because when you come through there and they're all bumping off,
well, what they could have done was open the rail an awful lot more than it's open. But definitely walking from a good bit back seems to be the best way to make it work. Now that rail should have been open wider so the gap wasn't so tight and they could have come through without bumping off each other. But now the only thing they should do now is stand them on the poles and make it a standing start.
Sally Ann?
Yeah, just a point, Paddy Graffin is telling them that they have to come right back to the fence. They keep turning too short and turning back towards him, and he keeps telling them they have to go right back to the fence. And the problem was, as Ruby said, it was quite a tight gap, having 24 runners coming through that gap. We could see here from down on the track that it was very tight, and a lot of horses were getting squeezed and starting to shoot up. But you can see Paddy Graffin is insisting that they come right back to this fence, and they walk. A couple of the riders just a little keen to get a start, keep turning round and going back up to the starter, and Paddy Graffin is starting to get quite annoyed with them down here at the moment, not listening, and they keep turning back around. But Ruby, I'm sure you know what it's like for a jockey in this state. You don't want to let your head start go, but you have to listen to the starter too.
You do, but the best option here would have been to make this race a fraction shorter, so that when they did come through that gap, there was a 100-yard walk to the tape. Having it where it was the problem, and trying to get 24 horses through there. Now, the Turf Club won't see it that way. It'd be the rider's fault, but it was track layout was the issue.
And away they go, heading up towards the first with 3 stars. One of the leaders, Lake Takapuna, De Benno the Grey, and also in the firing line is Sunsets to Rise. They're followed towards the inside as they go up the hill by Tonji. Not far behind these is Powers Bomb. Tis a Mystery is on the outside. The grey is De Benno, Balban de Matan, Lake Takapuna towards the inside. 3 stars is just behind them. And we've lost one at the first. Tis a Mystery is down. And there's another one gone at the back, Timian. So we've lost Timian and Tis a Mystery at the first. As they go up towards the second fence, up at the top of the hill, and De Benno will rise in front of Balban du Matan in second. All safely over. Robin de Mana is the back marker in the early stages as they head down the hill towards the far side of the course, and De Benno and Balban de Matan are the leaders. Close up behind these is 3 stars, and also towards the outside is Powers Bomb as they race down now towards fence number 3. Balban de Matan on the inside of the grey, De Benno, then Cadmium towards the outside. 3 stars is prominent too, and behind these is Powers Bomb as they go up towards the 4th, And the lead with Balban de Matin, de Benno in second, Cadmium towards the outside, then 3 Stars. And they're followed over that by Sunsets to Rise, Lake Takapuna next on the inside. As they turn now to head down the back straight, 3 fences ahead of them on the far side of the course. Balban de Matin, the leader, from de Benno in second. And they're being followed in third place towards the next fence by Cadmium. And then comes Speredek with the white cheek pieces. 3 Stars is just behind them as they rise to this. And Balban de Matin, just the leader, from de Benno in second. They're followed over in third place by Cadmium, and we've lost a couple back in the field. And it looks like Leanin' Keen was one of the fallers, and Hurricane Ben was the other one as they go out over the next fence. They're well strung out and heading towards the next fence. It's Balban de Matin, the leader, from Speredek in second. The grey is de Benno, then Cadmium, then Sunsets to Rise and 3 Stars. Powers Bomb is next with Lake Takapuna. Cur Joya behind these, then comes Bon Papa. And after these is Just Get Cracking, followed by Tonji and then Mr. 51. Our Dougal back in the field with American Tom and Shadowcatcher as they turn now to face the 4th last. And Speredek, the British challenger, has gone to the front from Balban de Matin in second. In third place is Cadmium, then comes de Benno, then Sunsets to Rise, Lake Takabuna and Cur Joyeux, and then Powers Bomb. They're followed by Tonji. Bon Papa towards the outside, 8 to late is pulled up as they jump the 4th last. And it is Speredek, the leader, from Cadmium. Then Sunsets to Rise. They're followed by Balban de Matin, Cur Joyeux, Lake Takapuna. Bon Papa getting closer down the outside. Just Get Cracking towards the inner. This is the 3rd last, and Speredek is over in front from Cadmium in second. And they're followed by Balban de Matin. Then comes Sunsets to Rise, Bon Papa, Cur Joyeux. Then on the inside, Lake Takapuna under pressure. Just Get Cracking behind these, and then Mr. 51. As they swing the turn into the straight, 2 to jump. Cadmium has come there to take on Speredek. Balban de Matin still in contention. Bon Papa coming there strongly on the near side. Cur Joyeux just behind them. They're at the 2nd last now. And as they take it is Cadmium from Bon Papa, and then Sunsets to Rise, and they're followed by Cur Joyeux, Balban de Matin behind them, then Mr. 51, Cadmium from Bon Papa as they come to the final fence. Cadmium not too good, but leads from in second place Bon Papa, then comes Sunsets to Rise and Cur Joyeux as they race into the closing stages. It's Cadmium, Danny Mullins for his Uncle Willie, wins it well. Cur Joyeux is up for second, Bon Papa is third, Mr. 51 4. And in 5th place, Sunsets to Rise, followed by Just Get Cracking, and then American Tom and Speredek. So it's gone to Willie Mullins, number 11, Cadmium, in the colours of the Supreme Horse Racing Club. Danny Mullins in the saddle.
Yeah, great winner for Danny Mullins. Cadmium, who won the 2nd division of a maiden hurdle in Limerick one day when Kenboy won the 1st division, had these issues that we'd been trained, but he travelled super every step of the way here for Danny and jumped really well for a novice. You looked like Bon Papa was coming to be a danger here, but Danny had travelled so well all the way that, you know, he had loads of horse under him, jumps that really well and quickens away smartly to win comprehensively. Speredek, who got to the front halfway down the back, missed the break and used a lot of petrol to get to where he was. You know, Danny shortens up Cadmium there. That's probably his sloppiest jump, but he had enough in reserve to go away and win well. And the 2 McManus horses chased him home, Cur Joyeux and Bon Papa, with Sunsets to Rise and Mr. 51 behind them. But a really impressive winner and a great winner for Danny.
Yeah, and the horse that beat him at Thurles runs against Footpad later on.
Yeah,
he beat him 25 lengths.
He did. He beat him a long way, but you know, I think dropping from conditional company back into handicap company. You know, and obviously, look, you saw it yesterday with Patrick's Park and Blastakuma in the big handicap chase yesterday. 2 novices. This handicap chase here today, Cadmium and other novices. Novices are so hard for handicappers to assess, and they can always just often fly in under the radar and be well treated.
Tracy is with Danny.
Well, Danny, a nice win, nice one to get that in the can. Another one for Willie Mullins, and he did it well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he was a horse coming in here with limited experience, but when you have limited experience, you're always unexposed. And I said to the owners going out, you know, we thought we had a good chance. His novice form was good. And, you know, it's been a good year, missed a little bit of time with injury. and to be a part of the Willie Mullins team in Punchestown. So what can I say? It's the stuff dreams are made of, and to get on the crossboard is great, or scoreboard.
That's fantastic, all right. And they didn't hang about, did they?
No, went a good gallop, and this fella was quite keen, even over the first few, to get on with it. I was quite happy down the back. The lads went on about it. I was able to tuck in behind him. His jumping brought him there probably a bit sooner than I wanted, but I travelled well to the second last. Once I said it was over that, I'd let him gallop to the last, a little tight to it, but very clever for a novice, and ran away an easy winner. Fantastic.
Brilliant, Danny. Well done.
Well done to Danny. Ted, it reminds me in some way, you know, Willie is using all these jockeys. He's got lots at his disposal, and 40 years ago, Tom Draper was much the same. You had Pat Tapp, the McLaughlins, Sean Barker, Paddy Woods.
But they never go to the yard. I mean, Pat was retained jockey, like we said, Ruby is retained in Willie's, but when Pat couldn't ride him, it was Sean Barker or Peter McLaughlin or Lee McLaughlin or any of the lesser lads. Eddie Wright came on after that, and Val O'Brien. But they always used the lads in the yard.
Yes.
And Paddy used to do it as well with Matt Curran and Mick Brennan used to always ride the horses for him. And Willie does the same thing.
Yeah, but it gives great stability and confidence to riders. You saw Willie didn't waver one bit with Paul here on Tuesday and backed him yesterday, and he's always been the same with me. Now, having said that, Gordon Elliott is an incredible easy man to ride for as well, but it makes it much easier for a rider if you know when you get it wrong that the trainer's going to stand behind you. You know, and when the trainer gets it wrong, the jockey's not going to give out to him either. So you know, you have that relationship, but to have a man who's going to stand behind you, especially when you're wrong, makes the job a good bit easier, and there's no one like Willie.
Well, we're going to hear from Willie and Gordon on the jockey policies and this and that, and it's fascinating stuff later on in our programme. And Sally Ann now has got the winning owner.
There are great scenes down here in the winners' enclosure when Cadmium came home in front, and I'm joined now by Paula from the Supreme Horse Racing Syndicate. That was an unbelievable result.
Great performance, Sally Ann, yeah, very well. You know, Danny was quietly confident going out, like, he's had him jumped. He said he's going to be third and fourth the whole way around, and he rode accordingly, and it was great to get a winner on Punchestown.
And he's a great horse for the syndicate. Can you tell us a little bit about the group?
The group, like, I think we've about 400 members. We probably have 30 horses in training, all in training with Willie. Like, you can't ask for a better trainer, can you?
You've had some great horses down the years, but this is a great win for you.
This is a great win, absolutely. I mean, we won here a couple of years ago with Avon too, and a few others, so it's great, absolutely great. It's a festival, isn't it?
Yeah, there'll be lots of celebrations.
And as Danny Mullins are getting the congratulations from the Supreme Horse Racing Club, of course, and they will really cherish a winner at the Punchestown Festival. Number 11, Cadmium, winning the pigsback.com handicap steeplechase in really, really good fashion. Harold Kirk is there as well, who, of course, buys a lot of the horses for W.P. Mullins. And I'm sure he acquired this one as well. Cadmium winning at a price of 12 to 1. Was 16 to 1 this morning. Courchoyou second at 25 to 1 for the Dempsey's. Bon Papa, stable companion of the winner. Third, your well supported 7 to 2 favourite, and fourth was number 8, Mr. 51 at 25 to 1. A 12 to 1 winner on a wonderful evening here at Punchestown. The big one, of course, is the Ladbrokes Stairs Hurdle, Pinhill and Bacardi's, and of course we have the spectacular Latouche Cup, the Friends First Latouche over Ruby's Dublin, all those wonderful fences. That's upcoming as well after this commercial break.